Next basketball topic, though, is Rick Barry had a video recently that he went off. Rick Barry, for those who don't know, is a tremendous former NBA player, and he was talking about.
I believe his son was on the Timberwolves like G League summer league team for a little bit because his son looks like underhand.
Oh, because Rick Barry did the underhand free throws, and so
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So his son, I forgot what his name was, but I'm pretty sure he was on the Timberwolves summer league.
The Iowa Wolves?
No, not the G League team, the summer league. I don't know. It's different, but yeah.
Sure. Well, he was talking about the game today, the state of the game, and why offensive players have an advantage, why the league is not the same anymore. The big thing he talked about was it was refereeing. And he said that he was watching a game, and so they allow moving screens, and those are illegal. They're in the rule books. Yep. You can't give a moving screen, but every screen in the NBA is a moving screen now.
Unless you're like Steven Adams. I feel like Steven Adams does a hard screen, stationary screen, but
I love Steven Adams.
Right.
And then he also talked about traveling. Players are beyond traveling, like they're taking 4 steps. They're getting extra steps. They're getting double pivot feet. He talked about how if you call those, who cares if you call those? Like, call them because the players will adjust.
Right.
Like right now, he doesn't understand why the officials are so scared to call these penalties. Like, call traveling. Right. Call a moving screen or illegal screens. He was watching a game and he said he counted 49 illegal screens.
I believe it.
And he just said the offensive advantage that you get from not having to worry about like getting around a pick, like not having to worry about traveling. Like he said that one extra step for the offensive player is a huge advantage.
Absolutely.
And makes it so much easier to score.
And especially if you're moving on a screen, the whole point of getting around a screen, if that player is essentially moving with you, they're essentially creating a wall. They're trying to they're moving with you as you're trying to get around the screen. That's even more advantageous for the offensive player going around the screen.
So he was just talking about, that was basically the gist. It was a quick video. He kept going, but that was like the gist of it. He was just talking about how the players have such an easy time on offense now, that's this generation is offensive ease, because of the rules not being called, and he puts it 100% on the officials.
Right. I mean, I do think the officiating is in a weird spot right now. I think I wanted to bring this up just because I texted you this. The Timberwolves played the 76ers the other night, and at one point there was 22 free throws to 6 free throws. Oh, I believe Joel Embiid had like 14 of those 22 free throws. So Joel Embiid had like 2 times as many free throws as the entire Timberwolves team at some point.
Yeah, he was on pace to get 40.
Yeah, so something crazy like that. And there's 2 players, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid, that have 100 more free throw attempts than any other player in the league. And maybe that's true. Maybe they're actually getting fouled, but I think there's the persona of referees or personas of some players in the NBA, and those players get favorable refereeing when it comes to like always getting the calls. Yeah, I mean, I watched a video the other day where Joel Embiid caught the ball on like the wing, took 3 steps, hit the offensive player in the face with the ball, like 1, 2, hit the guy in the face with the ball, the 3rd step, and then went up, and the guy can't see, so he's straight up like this with like the ball in his face, and he like the body contact Joel, and the guy got called for a foul.
Right, Joel Embiid got the free throws.
Yeah, I don't know, and if they're afraid to like, because Harden did that. Harden would use the ball to push the person away. Yeah, and like when he was driving, he'd use the ball to push the person away, then make like, oh, I got hit, and then do a shot. Yeah, and they've started calling Harden with offensive fouls.
Joel Embiid's a bigger guy, though, quicker, easier to sell it because the guys that are guarding him are bigger, so it looks more like fouls when a big guy.
So I mean, I do think Rick Barry's probably right. There's the refereeing, but it doesn't make for fun basketball.
Yeah, I agree. I think I basically agreed with Rick 100% that it would be. The players will adjust, so there's no reason to be scared. So the only way the officials would not be calling these is because they are scared to call them on the players, or the NBA is telling them to let it go.
Right.
Because then the playoffs happen, and all of a sudden they start getting really like letting things go. They start calling a lot less free throws, and those guys like Joel Embiid, James Harden fall off in the playoffs because instead of shooting 15 free throws, they get 7, and all of a sudden they lose 8 of their points, a free 8 points. Right. I would be interested to see if the NBA actually called their rules, if they called traveling and they called illegal picks and they called the offensive fouls like that. How different, like which players would all of a sudden be, all right, that guy makes defensive player of the year every year. All of a sudden, this guy is no, like, say Jordan Clarkson does a 3-step every time. All of a sudden, Jordan Clarkson's no longer a 6th man of the year candidate, like that sort of thing. It'd be interesting to see where the league would go. There are guys that I think that might not be able to adjust. I think Giannis would have no issue adjusting.
Oh yeah, no, he's just a freak athlete. He's gonna, he's either going to get to the rim or you're going to stop him from getting to the rim.
And I think it would also bring back an importance to the big man. I think it would make the positionless basketball less common.
Right.
Because then you'd have guys, you need the big guys to set the picks because the little guys can't do the moving picks anymore.
Right.
Like a 6'8" guy can't be your center anymore because he can't lay the pick because you have a big man on the, like, it just, it would make the big man back to being important, which, I mean, when I always thought basketball, it was, you had to be tall. Like, oh, the shortest guy in basketball is 6'3". Like, I think it's important to call the calls.
No, absolutely.